Pango, if Axe isn't just creating some sort of chaos, I feel like these supports and the Terrorblade are going to be very exposed. Yeah, there's a mag, but like, who's really a great RP target right now?
Yeah.
Like, you got 3 strength heroes and a Juggernaut.
And even if you do get the jump in, like, you're going to get Blinding Light. Everyone wants to jump forward, then Ignis is going to cause you a large amount of problems. I'm kind of watching this top lane a little closely, where Kuro's positioning is. Now, he's not even doing Observer Warding, he's holding it in his backpack, but this is that aggressive tri lane. Hidden in the trees, Magnus can come from the side, Lich is already TP off the bottom lane, so bottom lane is now straight up 1v1, but then looking for the Stormbolt, into the spin, maybe with the Frost Armor, is still not enough. They get the great initiation now, even better, Kuro TP out, oh, does not get it in time. That was ballsy.
That was a little ambitious.
Yeah, it's going to cost him though. Like, getting back into lane will take a long time now for this event. He'll have to walk it.
Yeah. It's all right though, because the lane's actually pushing pretty hard, so it's not as if his presence is going to be missed here. Really like that move from Liquid though, and this is just what makes them so smart, right? They recognize, hey, this guy popped meta. We have a Stormbolt Coddle Blast combo with a spin that's guaranteed taking this guy down. Do it right away.
Yep. GH is on the run away from Kinga.
Yep.
Do not let them get in any closer. But it's just kind of like very expensive usage of Frost Shield. Like, if Slayer can't find anything from it.
Yeah, and real quick, this is another thing Liquid does that is just, again, I just like it. Because top wave was pushed, because they know there's no meta, Kuro thinks, hey, I can impact this game a lot more by just going bottom and annoying the Axe. He enables the Slardar of Mind Control to get those hard camp CS because he's now just going to chase the Axe away, forces him to do this. And
as long as Kuro doesn't die, Kuro may have to Stormbolt to get some space. That's a level 2 spin that Ghostic got, and he had a creep wave that was attacking him from behind. Hence, Kuro was actually getting spun on. But
he is preventing the Axe from doing what he wants to do, which is this right here. He's going to start walking the high ground and look to farm jungle camp along with the creep wave.
Yeah, but Mind Control's already doing exactly the same type of thing. Like, he's grabbing the creep wave and then pulling it over. In fact, it looks like he's going to have to... Well, I think he can delay this creep wave much more. They're going again now, this time closer on GH. Skewer forward, just trying to keep that Frost Shield in range, but with the Illumina Blast and the spin, Lich will fall. GH will not make it to safety. So once again, a kill on top lane goes the way of Liquid with a rebuttal instantly after.
Yeah, but they're fine with it just because the lane is pushing, and it really meta is still on cooldown. Like, that was so huge, and it is really just something you don't see really brought up enough, is that a lot of Dota is utilizing your power spikes and finding kills when they can most annoy your enemy.
Matam's in a bit of trouble. You sure? I always worry a little bit, but 10 reactive armor charges, yeah, maybe he is okay.
Yeah, the Q of Dazzle, of course, does physical damage, so when you're a Timberstar with 11 armor, or 10 armor rather, thanks to your passive, yeah, you're good. Wow, it's actually 1.4 per stack. That's crazy. It's 14 armor and 12 health regen at level 3.
Sure. Easy. Mind Control's having a couple more problems on bottom lane now against this Axe. Because the lane's like, it's actually kind of, like, doesn't this actually work against Mind Control when it's lane on lane action? Because it means he's got to come in close against Ghostic, who is just putting all the points up into spin. No battle hunger harassment. It's a 1-1-3 build on the Axe.
He's going the farming build. He'll probably go Vanguard first as well. And this is something, I like his decision to get the Ring of Health max spin because it prevents Mind Control from ever really threatening or harassing him. And that's how Slardar likes to win his lane. You can see he is maxing out the bash. That's 175 physical damage per bash. But as Axe, you can kind of just ignore that. You're going to deal just as much back, and Slardar doesn't have that regen advantage.
It's nice to see Mind Control preparing it on the creep wave and then just making the most of it into Ghostic. So he can crush him up now, but he doesn't want to stay close. If that Axe Core goes off with the creep wave, Mind Control is going to take so much damage he cannot repair it. Matumman is also just being continuously pushed out of this mid lane. Yes, he's not getting too far behind in the CS. You'll probably also want to know that regeneration rune is in the bottom of the river. But it feels like Dazzle's off to a pretty damn good start, and Dazzle is now going to move down and grab the regen, while the aggressive move from Liquid, trying to find Naive and push him out of his own jungle, because they have abandoned top lane. They do not want to go anywhere near Shadow.
This is, this just feels like while the game is even, Liquid's got to be comfortable with this. They're trading in effectively all their lanes.
They're not trading bounty runes, however. They're going to lose all 4 bounty runes go the way of Pango. As Slayer, who claimed both of them on the top lane, he's now going for the hunt of GH. Maybe not the best place to be underneath the shrine, and he's not going to stun on extra damage. The one tree that was standing next to him gives Matamba the damage to help GH find the kill.
Really surprised he TP'd out there. I would have probably just kept moving left, try and TP out of the trees. Even if you die over there trying to TP out, at least you force Matamba Man to waste a creep wave, and it's the very valuable catapult wave as well. Dazzle would have got them tower damage off. Were Matamba to waste another 10-15 seconds.
They may look for a fight in mid. GH is rotating over. They're really trying to be on top of this Terrorblade.
Look at Kuro.
I don't know what he's looking for. If he's looking for the Korea, maybe?
Hey, but no, he's just gaining information. He was probably going to link up with the GH in the jungle there where they just placed that ward, but he just gained valuable intel. He knows that this Lich has just respawned and is walking out on map with 3 wards. They got to go somewhere. They'll buy some sentries soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. That deep observer would also allow GH to leech some experience, and Kuro will now move over. Bottom lane has been pretty aggressive, but you do have the amplification now available. So Ghostic may be just a bit more cautious about coming underneath the tower. While, when is this attack going to come towards mid? I'm waiting for them to attack into Dazzle. Try and change that equilibrium.
Structures are fortified.
I don't think Dazzle's really a hero you want to mess with this stage, though. And interesting, Sailor actually choosing to rush Medallion. You don't see that very often. Typically, there's the Necro Rush, of course, but he's choosing a different tact.
Interesting. Why Medallion? Like, what's he looking to bring down? Like, they're not going to do Roshan early on.
You can do it very early, especially with an Axe Vanguard, but...
You think the Terrorblade has enough damage for this at the moment? Especially when he's pushed out of the lane? So he's using his Metamorphosis, which just timed out to farm up with the tree line. Matamba chasing after the Lich. One more attack with the Shark will be good. If that's in 1 second time, he'll come off cooldown. Okay, he'll just do it the old-fashioned way. But Dazzle's going to have his own fight. Matamba's going to have nothing of it. Straight TP. And he actually goes to the tier 1 tower in mid. Does not want to back off. This is regeneration timber.
That was a really good decision by Matamba to TP out, though, because he might have actually died. He had 0 stacks of armor. And when you have the early Medallion as a Dazzle, all of a sudden, this Timbersaw looks a lot squishier. But max reactive, when you get all the way up to full stacks, I mean, he's full health almost already.
The Medallion won't matter as much, right?
Yep, exactly. It actually just, it's a worthless item when you have that much armor. It increases the damage taken by one.
Going bottom lane, Mind Control should die. Cole already going to pull him in, and he can't move away. The Frost Shield slowing down the movement speed, but then Ghostic, he hasn't got the Culling Blade off. He waited a little too long, so Shadow begins his own TP, and applications there. Is there a rush to cancel the TP, staying out of range, so no chance for a spin. And Shadow will find now his 3rd kill off the game. With the rotation to bottom.
That's a 350 radius ability, and I think he was right in that 340 to 350 window. Pretty much a mixed range stun, 1/10 of a second before the TP goes off. So, I mean, what you'd expect from Mind Control. The guy did win the TI, and even Miracle says that he's their best player.
Oh. I think GH, Keeper of the Line, was his TI winning hero, and he'll dine it in the top lane. Good movement, this is good space for the bag, but remember they've got that space because the tier 1 tower has already fallen on the top lane. Shadow is taking care of the bottom lane at the moment, with Kuro and Mind Control hanging by in case they are required, as Matamba adds pressure to the mid tier 1. Of course, the Pango is very aware of this. They've got 2 Dire Observer wards watching any kind of movement down to the southern lane.
I like this movement from Liquid once again. Like, the top tower's dead. They've pushed the wave significantly. They throw the Coddle, who's just going to prevent Dazzle, who even though he's level 9, can't do a damn thing to stop GH from killing his creep wave. The rest of Liquid, you just go bottom, and you can't stop this push. They're too strong.
I suppose they could do one thing. They just Illuminate. I mean, they did Fortify, so the Illuminate does no damage at all. Shadow with the healing ward. Sustain of the creep wave was just too good. Mind Control will come in to lend a hand. Ghostic has Vanguard available, so he is fairly tanky. And they can try and keep this tower alive a little longer. Frost Shield on top of it, but they really want to have this fight. Dazzle TPing as well, but Wings is Liquid is already backing up.
Yeah, and this GA just doing such a great job. He stops the mid pressure. Look at this ward that he placed himself, scouting out the Sailor rotation. That's something Liquid loves to do. These offensive wards that sniff out movement that they can expect because they know this is where you want to be. So just wasting time.
The chaining sets are so good. Here comes the Storm Bolt. Thought it might have actually clipped the Axe as well, but Axe will trigger the Shrine, and that brings mind control a little bit closer back in. But then again, the Axe call, not as much control as you would expect it to be, with Batalman rotating in.
Yep.
GH is the one to find, really. He's the one to find the kill, but either way, they find the kill.
That Vanguard does absolutely nothing because he's got no armor. As soon as he gets amped, he goes from 4 armor to -6. Bear in mind that bash, that's physical damage. It's not 225 all of a sudden. It's increased by like 20-25%. That makes it about 300. Who cares about your block? You're getting hit for 400.
Yep. Meanwhile, Juggernaut gets to have a great old time. Like,
yeah.
This is really the wings +4. +4 create space for Shadow.
They're just so fluid around the map. Like, all of a sudden, you've got 3 heroes of Liquid mid. They're pressuring here, and Timbersaw, you can't kill him. And it forces now 3 heroes from Pango to just sit here and watch. As you said, Shadow free farms bottom. Now he's going to go link towards mid and ensure this tower dies. And your Slardar's up, about to finish up his Vlads.
At least the Observer Ward saw him move over, so Pango have some information of what they can... Okay, they're going to fortify again. Naive is going to go for a trade-off. He's going to look for the tier 1 tower on bottom, but then he's not here for this engagement. A huge Illuminate Collar Blast hits the back lines. Shadow Wave has to try and do the heal, but it's not how Dazzle wants to play. He wants to be the aggressor. He doesn't want to be the defender. He's the mid.
It just feels like the Liquid's got Pango's neck in a noose, and as this game continues, they're just going to slowly tighten it. And you got to do something here if you're Pangolier. Like, what?
Is it just the Terrorblade, though? Because you still look at the gold. Like, it's 1,000 gold. Actually, it's about 1.4k gold advantage going the way of Liquid. The experience is a little bit the way of Liquid, but it's not snowballing one way. This is definitely not game 1. This is a very different enchilada. But
your problem is that right now, your mag and your axe are bound by blink daggers. And when you get these items, you need to use them. And I'm just not sure how you find pickoff skills and objectives when Liquid's moving so fluidly around the map. Like, look at where these waves are. Nearly everywhere is being shoved into tier 2. The only wave that's exposed is bottom because there's no tower. Shadow's just going to teleport out. And now, since Pangolier is looking to play the bottom side of the map, I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid looks to do Roche sometime soon.
They're grouping up to smoke. Then again, where is their smoke? Like, the blink dagger's on the Magnus. Everyone was behind the tier 2 tower ready to go, but the Courier's not even carrying it. It's still trying to deliver the max amount of items to the top lane now.
It's just, you're in an interesting position. Ghost Stick pressuring bottom hard, finishes Blink soon. They do have the Magnuses online. Just, I don't know how you use it. This is the downside of the dire side, because Liquid is perfectly comfortable ceding control of their bottom lane and jungle because it's so far from the Roche pit. And you've got to be careful if you're the team of Pango, because at any moment, you show 3 or 4 heroes down here, and immediately Liquid runs into the pit.
And because also Pango doesn't have that tier 1 tower on top or mid, then this Roshan becomes a lot more exposed. But that's why down towards bottom, look towards Matamaman. They're not moving quickly, however. Magnus is holding back, and the TP, 2 onto the Shrine, 3 onto the Shrine. They're all coming to the Magnus. He begins his skewer, but man, they do not want this fight. But then again, Pango were the ones who are setting up for him.
But you can't. The thing is, it's all about the spacing and the way Liquid play this game. Who's exposed? Tubberman Timbersaw full stacks. Can't initiate on him. You're going to lose the game. And initiator is all of a sudden Mag has revealed himself, and it's easy to just teleport in and kill him. And bear in mind, this whole time Shadow's just farming. Yeah,
he is #1 on the net worth. Goes up against the #1 Terrorblade, and Terrorblade just walks away. Nothing to have in this fight. New items get to arrive. The next book, level 1 completed for the Dazzle. Slardar will have a Vlad's and a 3-man smoke from Liquid. They are invading the jungle, and they're going to find the Dazzle. GH doesn't break his smoke. He walks around it because they know they need to have a jump stun, which they don't actually have out there 3 players. They probably wanted to work with Shadow up on the top lane, and that is where the smoke gank is coming in. King R, they'll come in close. It's an RP with a spin. Juggernaut's going to be good, and then the Ignis. They cannot move away from it. Goes to try and take care of it with the Omni Patch. Goes is losing life. Telegram give him a little bit more life, but then here comes the crush into the back line. Dazzle, the Lich ulti. Liquid, actually, they can't move away from it. This is how they have their fight. They're just continuous slow. Liquid, even with the high ground, could not get down there and do the damage they wanted.
They have no Timbersaw. And just can't take that fight if you're Liquid successfully without the Timber. They have a shot, but there's no amp that goes off before the Omni Slash. Spreads the damage out throughout all these tanky cores of Pango. And there's just no way you're going to be able to find that kill. But GH, he chose to do something I have yet to see a Coddle do. No points in Blinding Light, just maxed out the Q, because this is all he's doing. Yeah, he's going to die here, but he doesn't mind. He just killed the creep, and there's no push now for 30 more seconds.
Because he's just trying to buy time for the cause of Liquid to get stronger. Yeah,
he'll actually respawn just about when the creep wave actually hits the tier 1. And you can look at Liquid, they're just saying, oh, okay, buddy, thank you. We're going to go stop this tower from dying now. And
they're actually going into, Liquid are going into Roshan. So they're going to let their tier 1 tower die up on top. Fortification will delay it. But with the Demon Edge over on the Juggernaut, maybe they feel they have enough damage. But Talman's fine with this. He's building reactive armor stacks up. And it looks like Pango is not aware. The D-warning of the Observer as well. The T1 tower has not fallen. And Pango seemed completely unaware this is happening.
Yeah, and it's disguised because Kuro showed himself, places a ward above the pit. So that'll break smokes and prevent them from being ambushed inside the pit. And shows like, hey, maybe my team is smoked behind me. You've got to get out of dodge. As you said, they're still doing Roche. The two keys, if you're ever looking to do Roche this phase of the game, is doing it quickly and doing it without taking damage. When you have a Slaughter and a Timbersaw, you have both of those things because Jug just freely hits the Roche. It dies in, what, 20 seconds? And Timber's still full health. Even if you get initiated there, so what?
Man, just smart from Team Liquid. They own the board. Kuro even denied the tier 1 tower, so with that push on the top lane, like they still got no money for it, Pango, and GH is just spamming this Illuminate.
And once again, 4 heroes of Pangolier are here, and this time, it's the Keeper instead of the Timbersaw, but it's the same concern where, once again, you're just not able to get objectives because this annoying guy is just spamming spells.
Well, you know where he is. He's in the trees. He'll clip naive, and now the jump in. Yeah, they're coming for GH. Finally, they will shut him down with a catapult behind him. Pango will be taking this tier 2 tower on the bottom. But Matumba's cutting the creep wave in the mid, cleaning it up, fortification. The rest of Liquid will push to the tier 2 tower on top lane. And they want their fight. They want to have an engagement.
I think, you keep going if you're Pangolier, but the problem is you're going to see Matumba Man TP in about 5 seconds. And he's going to stand at the tower if they keep trying to pressure this, and giggle at him.
And there's the first one, a TP. Finishes up the Battle Fury. So that took 17 minutes for Juggernaut.
Crimson and Yules finished on Matumba as well. He's going to have both those items. He'll actually transition to mid to try and prevent this tower push, but he's got to be careful. He's got no armor stacks.
But they're backing off. And in fact, it's a wraparound through the rear, catching out the Dazzle with the first stun, Mind Control with the chain stun, and boy, they just keep on going, bashing through. He'll get the Shallow Grave out, but there's no way to escape. Inside Chakram, he'll die to Matumbaman. But it's still not that bad for Pango. They've cleaned out all the towers in the bottom lane. They've taken the tier 1 tower in mid. The tier 1 tower is lost on top, so it's a little bit more difficult for that quick jump into Roshan.
It goes back into the whole Dire versus Radiant concept, though, because, you've got both towers bottom, but they just aren't as effective as the ones that Liquid slayed because they open up the Roche pit. Of course, they've already acquired the first stages, but you're going to have an engagement around the second Roche, and Liquid is just going to be better positioned to do so. Like, it enables them to play enemy jungle high grounds and bait the Roche into big fights. And when you have heroes like Coddle and Timber, you love fighting and forced choke points.
Well, definitely going to fight now. Shadow is so far away from the rest of Liquid. Like, I thought for a moment that if that jump did come in, Ghostic had Blink Dagger ready to go, but he actually uses Blink just to get back to the tower.
And remember, this Shadow was the original Juggernaut player. I know there's a lot of players right now who think they're the masters of it, but way back before even TI6, he was one of the few players that can make this work in a meta where it was really just not popular. Went unconventional item builds. I remember seeing Blink Maelstroms and these weird styles, but I kind of like this casual Yasha before Battle Fury. Too many times I see Jugs rushing Battle Fury, die once, and all of a sudden it feels like they're behind for the rest of the game. I really like this style and decision, and all of a sudden 6 towers dead for Liquid, and here they go marching up the high ground with maxed out healing ward, 3 points rather, and a near unkillable Matumba Man.
Yep. 19 minutes in, they feel very confident with the Yule Scepter to be defensive on the Timbersaw. It makes it even more difficult to get the lockdown on Matumba.
It's 20 minutes, so they back off. Immediately, they're going to teleport and try and control these honey rooms. Double TP to the top side. They're going to get at least 3, it looks like. I think that's a good decision. You don't want to pressure and ensure that the enemies are going to get 2 or 3.
Yeah, Terrorblade will take one of them. Actually, you actually end up having King R as well get the bottom one. But thanks to the movement that came fast from Pango, they were able to at least secure one of them on the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's just Liquid being comfortable with their core matchups. There's a reason both the panel members were predicting this Timbersaw last pick. It is the hard counter to Terrorblade, because you itemize for a Lotus Orb. As you can see, that's what he's got queued up, and you just go straight for him. You force the BKB, but not just that. How does a Terrorblade ever kill a Timbersaw?
I really don't know. I really don't know.
Edge? Like,
man, I also love the fact how much money GH has got. You got to remember, he's been pushing out these side lanes. He just bought a 20-minute Blink Dagger after having 4 staff as well.
Wow. Blink Coddle, that's not something I see very often.
It is definitely not. He could have gone for almost any other item, but he decides maneuverability.
I think it's good here.
The trees, like, how else do you get away?
Well, it's just really effective in this game when none of the enemy cores are buying BKBs early, so he can position himself far away and always be there to combo break the big initiations. If you drop your big foolish fire on top of an RP or an Axe Taunt, there's no ability for the other initiator to follow up.
Yeah. Looks like the Pango again are looking for an opportunity. They'll send a Terrorblade Illusion up to give them some information. Blink call. They find Mind Control. A quick walk right from Svet to give enough line for Mind Control to live through this. And the Ignis, they don't want to fight on top of this. The Stormbolt's out, but even with the Shallow Grave, that feels really premature. Ghosting, he's going to lose it. As going to be brought down. RP from King up, getting more space. So now Pango, they're the ones to control. Slaughter buys back into the game. The Timber, as well as Kuro, have already taken a fall. Ghosting goes for another jump into the mid, pulling Shadow up into the waiting arms of the Pango, and a triple kill for Terrorblade. You asked the question, Kyle, how do they get their initiation? That seems to be the way.
I forgot about the empowered Terrorblade, Toby, you know. I'm going to do my traditional comeback back and say that they did way more damage than I expected. An excellent RP. He gets 2. They both die. And Liquid, they felt a lot stronger than I thought they were a lot stronger than what just occurred.
Yep.
They just got crushed.
They were surviving for so long. Like, it wasn't even it wasn't a fantastic Shallow Grave. It was great positioning. It was great control through call.
It's too much damage in. Yep. The Terrorblade had just finished his Scotty. He's empowered. The Dazzle's got Medallion and like -8 armor on all enemies. Timbersaw suddenly doesn't look that tanky, and I don't even think he had a chance to proc to get his Yule or his Crimson off before he died. I at least didn't see it.
I actually think he was also in that fight without the plate mail on him. I think he had the bottle on instead. So now...
All right, well, game's even. Cool.
Plate mail has been changed over. The tier 3 tower has been taken in the mid, so this opens up the shrines for attack.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, you're worried about whether Liquid can do enough damage because, yeah, sure, Slardar Jug, you apply a ton of pressure, but Terrorblade's walking out with 34 armor. And he's really going to
fight this. They're bringing more people over. There's no Chain Frost available. Asunder is out. Matumba's still with good regeneration. Mind Control, no Blink Dagger. Sprint's only now just coming off cooldown so he can run forward, but who's he going to go for? A quick skewer, and the Chain Frost bounces over to GH. He'll take it away from the fight, and Lich almost perma-stunned up. He will take a fall. At the same time, Shadow gets dual ganked.
Dude, this Medallion is doing work. That was mostly the Blade Mail from Axe. Really a hard counter to the Juggernaut. This is a relationship we just haven't seen very often because these heroes just haven't been meta as cores in the same patch for a while. But you just slay this guy, and you just killed him in the duration of a taunt with 2 heroes. And let's continue the entire game. It will be a difficult game for Shadow to reach his full potential because both Magnus and Axe are able to just totally shut down his spin. And not to mention, Lich drops a Frost Shield on the target you're Omni Slashing. They just 50% less physical damage. And in the event they were possibly going to die, there can be a grave. Oh, sorry, 60%. There's a reason Lich had 100% contest rate at the Miner.
Do you actually change the build-up now for the Juggernaut? Because he's been looking at this Butterfly into Blink into MKB. Like, it's the full late-game build in for a Juggernaut. Does he need to go something else to try and, well, like, how do you actually live through that call and attack from the Dazzle? Does BKB help you in such situations?
No, it's...
Because the Axe kind of doesn't care.
I'm not... I want to say Mjolnir, just so that you have magical damage, plus you can bounce and help deal with the TB illusions. He Omni-slashed, and I believe 3 or 4 of those attacks were just grounded on the illusions.
Blade forward from Max, they caught mind control. He tried to sprint himself away. Without that blink dagger, mind control is just not as... He's not anywhere near as maneuverable, and he cannot get himself on the front lines. What's it worse is he bought back during the last fight, so in 70 seconds, he got put into the grave. Chain Frost is coming off cooldown, RP is up, Metamorphosis is off cooldown. This is a push time for Pango.
And there's the BKB timing on Terrorblade. That's huge. You can't deal with them anymore. Timbersaw cannot do a damn thing to Terrorblade, and this is excellent from Pango. They smoke behind him, and they're ready to rock and roll. You can't stop TB. He's going to meta and just hit your buildings. And
that's why Blinding Light, at least the Soulbot was able to connect. The Cotter Blast spam from GH will also come out, but with the smoke movement behind, you've even got Axe inside the base to the north. They put the Frost Shield on him. He's looking for the jump forward. Okay, he'll get in the middle of all 3. Won't get anybody. But now Tim will take the chase. Terrorblade, gotta be careful, but he does have BKB and Sunder. Still no Slanner up, so still no big amplification. They can spam all they want. The Juggernaut has not joined this fight, but now Shadow looking to come in through the rear, push the healing ward. He's just going to Omni-Slash down the ledge, kill off one, and then get the hell out there. And this may just be enough for Pango to back off, but they've already taken the bottom melee racks. It's what they wanted. Now, can they get out? Almost scot-free. Yes, they lost the ledge. Terrorblade on the edge of the Ignis. BKBs and TPs away to safety. And everyone is out. Pango have done it. They've taken the bottom lane of racks and only lost the ledge.
Yep, and that just clean. Liquid recognized, we saw this yesterday in quite a few games, when a team can't defend their racks, they just let it go, because to take a fight there could just lose the game. And there's the Roche respawn, no meta, you want to buy some time. Pango, you've played a great game thus far, just keep it up, keep your composure.
He doesn't have his healing ward. He actually popped his healing ward before trying to go into the bottom fight. So that's why it doesn't exist at the moment. But the terrible illusion comes in, scouts out what's going on, and now the big choice is in the hands of Pango.
You gotta try and just stall this. You know there's no Ignis status.
Blink RP, mind control. He's the one that's going to be a little bit more exposed. He goes for a quick crush. Batumba jumps out, mind control, quickly sprints away. They were really thinking about getting the RP up. Shadow is now finished up Rocha. He has both the Aegis and the cheese. So Liquid got what they want, but now it's their turn to begin the full retreat.
Yep. And that's why they let the racks go. They know that when meta's used, you're going to be very loath to fight on the side of Pango, and they immediately make this play towards Roche. Very heads up, making the best of a poor situation. One miscue they may have made here. I'm very surprised to see Mike. You said he has no blink, he went Vanguard, but they already have a Crimson Guard on the Timbersaw. I gotta feel like he was maybe not, he just didn't recognize, I don't think, Matumba Man was going to get the same item, because there's a lot he could have done with that gold had he known. Like, the blink, as you said, I wouldn't...
Joystick's coming again.
Shadowblade? I don't know.
And he actually isn't even going to complete it. He's gone for his own medallion. Looking to get a Solar Crest up for the team. So this is just a full defensive 3 position. There's no jumping, there's no initiation. They're just going to try and keep Matumbaman alive when he moves forward.
Oh, GH is in trouble. You're in no man's land, my friend.
That's why he blinks for the tree line. They're just chasing. This is why he gets the blink dagger. Oh, but this is also why Axe gets a blink dagger. That's one execute horse.
How many times did you see that back in the days of TI7 though? GH just Matumba Man casually playing the trees.
Potential trade-off. Shadow is pushing in the bottom lane while the top is being pressured out too. So watch that TP timing of Shadow. He's not coming back yet. Instead, it's Tumman who's just being the front liner. Naive moves over. He's going after the melee racks. Quick whirling death, that's still so much damage that they cannot stop. The Shadow is not stopping either. Fortification out, Shadow moves onto the melee racks at the bottom, and they may just go for as straight as possible. Slada comes out, they'll get the crush over on Axe. They're buying the space for Shadow to do this proper split push. Strangulates it up, he'll sunder up the line. Adam and Tubman, Kuro ties, the Chain Frost connects on him. The melee racks will go down in mid, but at the same time, Shadow achieved the same thing on bottom lane. Maybe now he returns to the fight. He can go for much more, or does he? Blooding, pushing, Slada, control by the Axe call, but then again, Axe is brought down, and underneath the Ignis, no, he just BKBs. Here comes your Omni-Slash. They need more damage, they need a stun, they need something, and they just don't have it.
Yep, that was Lichtron, which for some reason could be applied through BKB.
Sure.
You actually can't kill Terrorblade. It's not possible to kill him before he teleports out there under the duration of BKB and Frost Shield.
They are chasing this Lich so hard, but even after the scan from Radiant did ping properly, they just don't know where he went to, and then there's a way to safety. He is out. That
is a very tough call for the side of Pangolier to make, though. That is a really...
Except losing your bottom lane of Rax for mid.
But you already have one Rax. It's more value for you to get that second, especially when you consider you already have the Rax and the lane Liquid now as the super creeps in. But it's so difficult to do that and to just make the right decision. We'll trade here, maybe not ideal, but you're fighting into Aegis. I feel like that's the move you want to make. You don't want to be in a position where like you teleport your Terrorblade bomb and then get exposed, lose 3, and the game's now just totally shifted back towards Liquid.
Shadow still wants to try and look to use this Aegis aggressively, if possible. I mean, the timing of it, like they've expended a lot just for that last engagement. Now all 4 bounty runes actually won't happen because King R got the other one, so it'll be 3 of the bounty runes go to Team Liquid at the 30-minute mark.
Yep. I fear that, I don't know if Matumba misitemized, but it just doesn't feel like he's going to be doing enough damage in these engagements.
So he was looking at Dagon. Before he had the Shivas in his quick buy, he was looking to get a Dagon.
I like Shivas, I just...
great call. Problematic. Shadow gets caught out. He switched the cheese in. He's got a spin to try and move a little bit further away. Matumba jumps forward. They're more of
a blink taunt in a few
trying to
seconds.
sway them from attacking any further. But yeah, when that blink is up, RP available. Liquid cannot cluster. On the retreat, here goes your other call. Ghosting, pulling Matumba back to the front lines. They'll not have the reactive armor charged up. Now they'll start to actually accrue. Bakuro, man, that Terrorblade is just ripping through this. Man, they don't have enough life. This Stormbolt dodged out by the Mana Style. And the Omni Slash from Shadow trying to do a lot, but it's got locked in the creep wave. Now he has to spin. The RP from King R holds him there. The focus is out, and maybe with the Ignis, no, the BKB. Terrorblade doesn't care. Shadow can't escape. One chance can keep him alive a little bit longer against the edge of the Ignis, and then up the hill and away. Matumba jumps in. Team Liquid, they're actually holding him. The Ignis lacquering on top. There's just so many combined together, allowing Matumba to finally bring down the Lich, and that works through the Terrorblade Metamorphosis time. So Dazzle, he can't survive. A shallow grave, he cannot TP out. He is stuck here to basically be finished off, and that's exactly what will happen. My Control takes the kill, and Liquid hold the line.
That was just...
It was GH.
That was so close, but yeah, as you said, GH, the double, that was his refresher. That's why we see Coddle first 2'd by Eho anytime they're picking Tiny, because when you get to this stage of the game,
this is why you...
There's no counterplay without BKBs.
This is why I was surprised by the Blink Dagger, because Coddle normally gets the refresh drop first, not the Blink Dagger, but... And now he's also that great reason why GH is an amazing keeper of the light player. He understood he needed to keep the side lanes under control. He needed to push him out. He needed to be the sacrificial lamb to do such a thing.
The thing is there, though, that's where I think the Matumba mana could have been tweaked a bit, because he was out of mana to spam his spells under that 5 or 7 seconds he had of free DPS on heroes that were completely just locked into the light.
Yep.
If he has the Shivas complete, or maybe, if he has an Aghanim Scepter, right, which I think maybe his next item looks like he could be going for Dagon, I think he just kills everyone.
Man, GH getting so much more money now. The third Roshan probably even be more critical.
Yep.
I don't know if I do. Do you want 3 Ignis?
I think you do.
Or do you actually want double Omni?
I mean, if there are...
If the Omni Slash is like the last one?
Look at the value of the Ignis Fatus in that fight to the value of the Omni Slash, okay? I just don't think Jug is real. Jug is going to kill the buildings for Liquid, but Matumba Man is going to have to be the one killing the Terrorblade.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible to take him out unless both of his supports are dead and he's alone.
Matumba doesn't have that level of damage. Even with the control, they can't do it. Like you're getting probably more damage in from Mind Control unless Matumba's got the extra mana pool. But with this, like, you got no Bloodstone build on Timber. Was that even the item to go for? To have that mass regeneration that you can receive from the Bloodstone?
It's situational. I think after the change, it's not an item people favor on Timber as much, and there's just so much value in these cheaper items. The problem is Bloodstone doesn't give you any active ability, and the build-up is very expensive.
It's just after you get hit by Sunder, you need some way to recuperate. But now Matumba they're baiting him.
Yep.
Like, Axe is nearby, they're ready to fight, but at the same time, bottom lane was pushed in. GH was blinking through the trees. He was cuddle blasting the lane, just push, and now who's meant to be looking behind the missiles?
Yeah, well,
like, Team Liquid are 2 lanes of racks down. A full racks on bottom, but
that's not important. The third Roche is going to be everything in this game, especially when you consider the refresher shard. If that's given Terrorblade or Mag, that's game changing.
But if no one's defending the bottom lane, Liquid have so much information.
It's true. It's a good movement from Pango here. Roche can't spawn for another 10 seconds. They're going to take out the shrine, look to pressure the wave, as you said. But, you know, a lot of inexperienced teams would be maybe teleporting someone back to go arm the wave where it is now, but you don't want to. You want to change the creep equilibrium by cutting waves and staying aggressive on map. You never want to have to send somebody back to your own base to catch it.
I know you're creep cutting here, but that's pretty deep.
This team's
Pango will look to chase it. Roshan's got 2 minutes on the counter. Nice, nice blast once again, causing some problems.
What a close game. Less than 1,000 gold at 35 minutes. We rarely see games even go this long, let alone stay this close.
Yeah. The average in the current meta, I think, is like 33 minutes is the average finish time.
I'm just not sure Jug does enough damage. That's my big concern. Even with the Slardar, with a Solar Crest amp and his own.
They're jumping in the act. He only got one calls, didn't actually get mind control in it, but Shadow, so much damage. He went for the spin. Now they get the RP off. Only sometimes maybe possible, but the Dark Reaper, but they know they Culling Blade him down, and the Game Frost. Matumba just doesn't have the life. No buyback for Shadow. Matumba does have it, and he'll have to commit it straight away.
Yep.
Here they come, down through Pango. They are looking like a completely different team from game 1. Well, mainly because they were actually in this game, unlike game 1. But Tummerman on the front lines called out. Kuro with a Storm Bolt, but Terrorblade doesn't care. He's protected for the moment underneath the BKB. Remember, this is a short duration BKB, it's pretty low. So now it's gone, but they're looking for the kills. Down towards Mind Control. Reflect and the Skadi slowing him up, but the buyback's available and fortification. Again, just trying to waste the time with the Metamorphosis. It's got 2 seconds left, and now it's actually gone. The tier 3 tower is brought down.
Nice.
And Liquid, they paid a heavy price to defend their top lane of racks, but defend it they have now.
Yep, and the only reason they're backing is because they fear the coddle. There's no BKB on Terrorblade, and when you have that double Foolish Fire to deal with, it's scary, and they know Roche is respawning. You die there, and all of a sudden, the game is on the line in the Roche pit. And that right there, that's the issue with Jug in this game. He gets taunted, and then there's an RP on top of him later. He spins, but it doesn't matter. You can't actually do anything to try and save yourself as Shadow, and none of his supports have that ability to peel, except for that huge commitment of the coddle, and he was just slightly out of range, that kind of initiation off in time.
Both teams are aware Roshan's up. It was the end of the Necro book that was looking at Roshan spawning. All 5 players up from all sides, but you know where Pango are heading. As a double damage rune on a Terrorblade. They couldn't have got that at a better time. Roshan is being evaporated with the Solar Crest on him. This Liquid cannot get there in time. Even with the chain forward, Roshan's low, but now Matumba. No buyback to double. Nessuke pulls him in. He needs a Timber Chain out of this fight. He's going through the Lich. Juggernaut is still questioning if he wants to come forward. They have to get through the Aegis Immortal and refresh a shot that's on the Terrorblade. So he can just pop that BKB. Double twice. Now the Axe Ball. Timbersaw. But double layered on top Terrorblade. Now he'll burn his BKB. But Basil, he's isolated inside the pit. So they'll get the kill in there.
Really good decision making from Pango. And they buy back immediately. It's perfect. You know the coddle ultra on cooldown. That's your big fear. Just whatever you can to get the hell away from those balls of light.
Yeah. The big ultimate's down. 98 seconds before they're up again. And they smoke. They look for the fight. Doesn't matter if they get hit by the blast.
Man, just excellent decision making from Pango. I love the instant buyback.
They also switched out the refresher shard. They put it on the Magnus. So they got double RP on the
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But it works because Liquid, they have to defend Timbersaw. They can no longer think about being offensive. They just need to peel and ensure that their one player without buyback does not go down. And Pango recognized this. They say they trade those cooldowns for their Dazzle buyback, and now you're getting into this critical location. As you said, you've got double RP, You have no counter initiation on the side of Liquid, and they know there's no buyback on Timber. He can RP whoever he wants. That target's gonna die. Terrorblade, when he pops meta and gets empowered, and he's next to the Vlads, 800 damage. Although that was during the DD. Regularly, he's at a paltry near 500, and that's pre-meta, however. So it's only 600-ish.
We're good to go again after Matama's reconnected. So now the pressure situation. Pango needs the initiation. They're looking at it from Magnus. He'll be very happy to go for a one-man RP when he's got two of them available. Matama liner once again with the war cry. They have a lot of life, but there, that rack, they just cannot stop the Terrorblade. In the blinding lights, a little bit too late, but they're probably going to try and kill him off. Here goes your Omniscience for Shadow. He bounds down the creep wave. Here's your good RP. Lockable position. Refresher and go again. Oh, the position. You are going nowhere. It's 4 megas up already. The Tumble will die. No buyback available. And this really is probably the game. A 3-man from Ghosting. That's the way to do it in style. Push it to a third. You can buy back all you want. But I don't think Pango can be stopped. They are way too strong. Still have the Aegis on the Terrorblade. Thunder's off cooldown in 5 seconds time as well. And Shadow just feels like a non-factor in this game. The Juggernaut never coming into fruition. Matumba cannot tank through all of it. Now they just pull Shadow into the lineup. And that's GG.
That's GG. I gotta admit, I was wrong in the way I'm reading this game. Liquid, I thought they did, but I fail to recognize they know the win condition. They have 2 methods of BKB piercing disabled, both AoE. Liquid have none. So as soon as the BKB comes out on the Terrorblade, you can't stop his damage output. Whereas Shadow, it wasn't that he was playing poorly.